Hello, this is Mr. Muller for Lesson 5-5, Direct Variation. So in this section, we need to know two things. We need to identify direct variation in equations, and we need to be able to solve for direct variation when they give us our variables. So direct variation, so it's a special type of linear relationship that can be written in the form y equals k times x. And the way I'm going to explain it more times is going to be that it's going to be written as a proportion. Constant of variation is the non-zero constant k in direct variation. And we'll kind of talk about what that means in a second here. So direct variation, when we see it in a table, means there has to be a pattern, and that pattern has to go through 0. Okay, so if I'm going backwards here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, if 0 were there, it'd be going down by 1, so there would be a 0 there. And if a 0 were here, it'd be going down by 5, so 10, 15, 20, 15, 10, 5, 0. So this is going to have one that has a direct variation, because basically it would go through the 0 point. That's really all direct variation means in equations, is does it go through the 0. When we're looking at an equation like this, we know that the equation y equals 3x, that really means y equals 3x plus 0. So since there's no c there, since there's no number, if you remember a couple of lessons ago we had to identify the a, b, and the c, we're really looking for that c to be 0 for these problems. So the c would be 0 for this problem, so we know it follows direct variation. If we look at this red problem over here, we're looking that it's not going to follow direct variation because that c would end up being 8. So we're just going to say yes or no if it follows direct variation, and this one's going to end up being a no because of the 8 there. Alright, this one here is going to end up being a no as well because my c would end up being 1. Okay, we don't want that there. This one's going to be a yes because there is no c there. It's just 3x equals negative 4y. This one's also going to be a yes because even though there's a number there, the number is 0. So that's okay. We're looking direct variation always has to pass through the 0 point. Another way to find direct variation is to solve with the variables. And I like to set this up as a proportion. There's a couple other ways to set it up, but proportion is probably the best way that I like doing it. So if I have something like this problem here. So y equals 3 and x equals 9. Find y when x is 21. So remember that formula we said at the beginning. So y equals k times x. So we're basically solving this formula twice. So the first time we're solving it, y is 3 and x is 9. So I end up saying 3 equals k times 9. And so then I would solve, it's k times 9, I would divide both sides by 9, I figure out k is 1/3 or 3/9. Then I'm going to plug in 21 for my x there, and I'm going to figure out that since it's 21 is my x now, I'm solving for y, so y equals 1/3, because we figured out that's what k was, times 21, which would end up giving me 7. So then I would find out that my x would, or my second y would be 7. The other way to figure it out, which I think is much simpler, is setting it up as a proportion. So I know my first time I'm solving this, my y is 3, so there's my 3, and my x is 9. The second time I'm solving it, I know my x is 21, so look how they're both matching. 9 is x, 21 is x, they're both on the bottom, and 3 is my y, and I don't know my other y. So then I'm just going to cross multiply. 3 times 21 is 63, 9 times y is 9y, so I'm left with 9 times y equals 63, and my y is 7. If we do this again here, same thing. So I'm trying to find my y the second time. So I know my y the first time is 4.5. I know my x the first time is 1/2, so 0.5. I need to find y the second time when x is 10. So here we go. I have, instead of y equals 4.5 equals, there's still my k, times 0.5. So divide both sides by 0.5. My k ends up being 9. And now I'm solving again. Now that I know my k is 9, and my x is now 10, 9 times 10 is 90. So it's basically 2 algebra problems rolled up into one. No matter which way you choose to do it, all of them are going to be the same. So it does not matter which method you like, as long as you still get the same answer no matter what.